Caitlin Clark got a little get back at Kelsey Plum.
She was taking a shot.
Could not help but to drag Caitlin Clark through the glass as she did it.
0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
The WNBA is on a hot streak. They're finally turning.
What just happened a few minutes ago shocked the whole WNBA. And honestly, Kelsey Plum is probably feeling sick right now, because Caitlin Clark completely outplayed her in the coldest, smartest way we've ever seen in women's basketball. I'm still trying to process it, because this wasn't just revenge. It was a clear lesson on how to outplay and expose someone who tried to damage your reputation. And let's be clear, Plum didn't just lose, she was completely shut down. Before we break this all down, hit the like button if you're supporting Caitlin, because once you hear what really went down, there's no way you'll still be on Plum's side.
Kelsey Plum is both.
We want to blow them out. We're a lot better than them.
We're watching for the league. We're really watching for Caitlin Clark. Everyone's going to be making more because of Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is the one bringing in the numbers.
Well, there's one.
Let's go back to where all of this really started. This wasn't some small, random fight. It came from jealousy, quiet behind-the-scenes moves, and one player trying to take the spotlight away from the biggest star the WNBA has ever seen. It all began at the WNBA All-Star Game, an event that should have been about unity and celebrating women's basketball at its best. Instead, it turned into one of the most awkward and jealousy-filled moments the league has seen. At the time, players were supporting the Pay Us What You Owe Us movement, pushing the league for better pay. And to be fair, that part is completely right. These players deserve more money. But this is where Kelsey Plum showed her true intentions and made what could end up being the worst mistake of her career. During a press conference, with cameras everywhere and the whole basketball world watching, Plum took a subtle shot at Caitlin Clark without having the courage to say her name. It wasn't obvious to everyone, but people close to Caitlin definitely noticed.
Members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Or her actually making comments about Caitlin Clark's team not being at this meeting for the CBA.
She made this carefully chosen comment, saying that none of the players on Team Clark were really involved. It was clearly meant to hurt the league's pay talks and the whole player movement. The audacity was unbelievable. She went after the one player who has brought more attention, money, and visibility to the WNBA than anyone in its 28-year history, and tried to paint her as selfish and out of touch with other players. It was so obvious and so intentional that even people who don't follow basketball could see what she was trying to do. What makes it even worse is the truth of the situation. Caitlin Clark wasn't even at the All-Star Game. She was at home, recovering and dealing with her own issues. She didn't owe anyone a public appearance just to prove she supports players speaking up.
Got it. Caitlin Clark, during that whole thing about Team Clark, wasn't very present for that.
To me, I thought that was a little dig at Caitlin. A lot of people definitely thought so.
Plum, she was taking a shot at Caitlin Clark's situation involving the Pay Us What You Owe Us.
She has completely changed women's basketball. She's brought in millions of new fans, raised the sports profile, and helped make the WNBA financially stronger than ever before. And yet, Plum still had the nerve to question her commitment. The disrespect was unreal, but what came next was even more satisfying. The backlash was fast and brutal. You could see it on Sabrina Ionescu's face during that press conference. She looked uncomfortable the moment she realized what Plum had just started. Even analyst Stacey King didn't hold back, saying it's reckless to go after the league's biggest moneymaker. And he was right. The numbers don't lie. Since Caitlin Clark joined the league, TV ratings have jumped. Merchandise is selling out. Ticket prices are rising quickly, and expansion fees have shot up from $50 million to $250 million almost overnight. She's the WNBA's strongest card in salary talks, and Plum chose to publicly attack the league's most valuable player. And this is where Caitlin Clark showed she's more than just a star on the court.
Didn't join in on the t-shirt discussion.
This week they wore t-shirts saying, making a statement, you better pay us. But instead of just leaving it at that, Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark. Here she is.
The t-shirt, just United Front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark We're very present for that.
She's very smart and always thinking ahead. She's playing chess while everyone else is still playing checkers. Instead of firing back with a messy quote or starting drama online, Caitlin Clark made the smartest move. She stayed quiet. She let silence do the work. She kept winning attention without even stepping on the court and waited for the perfect moment to respond. And when that moment came, it hit hard. Not long after the drama, Clark announced a huge global deal with Nike. Once again, it showed that major brands are lining up just to be connected to her. While Plum was focused on tearing her down, Clark was busy building her brand. Then came the final blow. Clark noticed Plum posting photos from a Nike event, even though Plum is signed with Under Armour, Nike's biggest rival. That's when Clark dropped the perfectly timed comment, "Thanks for the Nike ad." The internet went wild. Brands are throwing money at her, and she's making well over 7 figures just from endorsements. While some long-time players are still fighting for attention, companies already know the truth. Clark isn't just the future of the league, she's the present. She's the reason the sport is finally getting the respect and money it deserves. Since that Instagram comment, Kelsey Plum has gone completely quiet, probably realizing she challenged someone on a totally different level. The same player who tried to paint Clark as selfish ended up getting outplayed by someone who understands that real power doesn't need noise, it just lets results speak. Clark's influence is so big that even a small comment from her becomes major news, while Plum's attempts to stay relevant barely get noticed. But this isn't just about 2 players. It shows how some WNBA veterans are trying to slow down Caitlin Clark's rise, and it's clearly not working. Before Clark arrived, the league struggled with low viewership, empty arenas, and little media attention. Then everything changed. Ratings jumped. Jerseys sold out. Ticket prices rose. Media deals grew. Expansion fees exploded. Almost every positive change in the league can be traced back to her impact. Instead of welcoming that growth, some veterans respond with jealousy and pushback. What they don't understand is simple. Clark's success helps everyone. More viewers mean more money, better resources, and real power for the league. She's the spark they've been fighting for all along. Through all of this, Clark has proven she's more than just a great player. She's a leader who understands timing, influence, and the long game. She doesn't chase drama. She turns criticism into momentum. Fans see it. The numbers prove it. And history is happening right now.